Mr. B, XRP here, and welcome back. Happy Sunday. I hope it is a fun day for you and your family and friends and whatever you're up to today. So got a bunch of things I want to talk about today. A couple things I'm going to touch on is Nasdaq. I want to talk about Nasdaq using blockchain. I want to talk about if the Wall Street is waging a war on crypto treasury companies. We're going to touch on that, and then we're going to talk about XRP ETFs as well. First thing we're going to do is look at the pricing, though. So XRP is on Fiat Leak right now at $2.22. Sometimes I see this, and it's on Coin Paprika. It's sitting at 220, so it's literally 2 cents ahead on Fiat Leak, and Fiat Leak is fiat coming into digital assets. So that's fresh money coming into digital assets. So it'll be interesting to see. A lot of times when I see Fiat Leak moving ahead of the pricing on CoinMarketCap or Coin Paprika or TradingView, they will catch up with that price that was on Fiat Leak. So you might want to keep an eye on that and see if that happens. Okay, so fear is at 28. It's going up. It was at 13 last week. It was at 28 yesterday. It's up to 28 today. So that's a good sign. By the way, while you're here, I wanted to ask you in the beginning of the video, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and also hit the notifications button if you want to be notified when my videos are released, which should be every single day. All right, so Bitcoin's at 91,638, Ethereum's at 3,042, Tether's holding comfortably at $1, and XRP's at $2.20 here and $2.22 on Fiat Leak. All right, let's jump into it. First thing I want to mention is I saw Ledger post this, hold the keys, hold the power, right? This isn't anything against Ledger. I mean, look, if you have your digital assets in your own cold storage device, there is still risk, right? There's still risk of hackers and phishing attacks, and there's risk from yourself, right? Losing the keys, and you have there is a responsibility with holding your own keys. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, and for some people it's the only way to do it. I'm just saying it's not for me, right? So as many of you know that listen to my channel, iTrustCapital is my sponsor. I absolutely love iTrustCapital. They're great for crypto IRAs. If you want an IRA, you need to go there. They're also great for regular standard crypto accounts, but they have an added benefit. They call it a PCA account. It's a premium custody account, and you get institutional grade custody. So Coinbase Prime, Fireblocks, and Fidelity Digital Assets are the custodians, and you get institutional grade custody that you can't get on any other exchange. You can't even buy it. Like, it's just, you have to be an institution to get that custody, and they give it to all their customers. So if you're interested in that kind of custody, check out the link in the description of my video. Please use my link. And if you do, and you're a new customer, you will get a $100 funding bonus, okay? All right, so to the XRP ETF trackers, we're still sitting at 821 million. And I believe by the end of this upcoming week, we will clear $1 billion. So we're gonna see how that plays out. And also 21 shares is set to launch, I believe, on Monday. So 21 shares ETF is gonna launch on Monday. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. And this was from Coin Bureau, and Coin Bureau said Nasdaq makes tokenized stocks a top priority. Nasdaq crypto chief says they're moving as fast as they can to get SEC approval for trading tokenized stocks. This is amazing. This would allow investors to trade tokenized shares of publicly listed companies directly on Nasdaq. It's happening. It's happening. I had somebody ask me, is this going to take 20 years? I said, no, it's happening now. Tokenization is happening now. Nasdaq's already looking to do it. In the next 5 years, you're going to have a harder time finding what financial assets in your life are not tokenized compared to what are tokenized. We're moving in that direction. And that's why I tell people new to crypto, and even people who are in crypto who don't get it, investing in the right blockchains and the right cryptocurrencies is like investing in the protocols of the future of finance, right? If you could go back in time and invest in look, knowing what you know about the internet, if a week before the internet was launched, I said to you, and you know what you know now, right? If I said to you, hey, would you like to invest in the protocol of the internet? You would go, hell yeah, I would, right? So that's the opportunity now. is investing in blockchains that are going to be useful, utility-based blockchains, many of which are going to be used in the financial world, which it really, really excites me, and I absolutely love it. Okay. This was an interesting post, and we've seen a couple of other stories on this in the last week. Wall Street is, and this is what the post says, right? This isn't my opinion. Wall Street is about to ban corporations from holding Bitcoin. Now, when you see Bitcoin, you have to just think crypto, right? Because it's not going to just be Bitcoin. Not through Congress, not through the SEC, through an index rule. On January 15th of 2026, MSCI, Morgan Stanley Capital International, will decide whether companies holding more than 50% of their assets in crypto can remain in global stock indices. Fail the test and you're cut off from $15 trillion in passive investment income permanently. Here's what they're not telling you. This affects 142 companies worldwide. They hold $1.37 billion in digital assets. Together, they own 5% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist. The hit list would include Strategy, which is MicroStrategy's Marathon, Riot, Megaplanet, and American Bitcoin, which is 20% owned by the U.S. president, by the Trump family. Now look at what happened this year. May, short sellers attacked the model. July, JP Morgan raised margin requirements to 95%. September, the S&P 500 rejected Strategy, MicroStrategy, despite it qualifying. November, JP Morgan warned of $8.8 billion in forced selling. December, JP Morgan launched its own Bitcoin product to absorb the money. The same bank calling this a risk are building the replacement. This is the largest structural attack on corporate Bitcoin ownership ever attempted. Companies can borrow forever, but they cannot save in hard money. They can hold dollars that will lose value, but not Bitcoin that gains it. If this passes, every CEO considering a Bitcoin treasury will abandon the idea. The model dies, capital flows back to Wall Street through ETF and bank products. The decision is 47 days away. This is incredibly interesting, right? I mean, really, really interesting for a lot of reasons. If you go to bitcointreasuries.net, you can look at the companies that have the top holdings of Bitcoin. And if you just scroll down the top 10, you've got MicroStrategies, Metaplanet, let's see here, Coinbase Global, Trump Media, Tesla. These are some huge companies. Galaxy Digital Assets. I'm going out of the top 10 now. I'm rolling down. The other thing is this. For the folks here that are XRP centric and have been following Ripple for all these years like I have, look, Ripple has nearly 40 billion XRP, which its current value is over $80 billion, which is clearly more than 50% of the value of their company. How would that affect Ripple? I mean, would Ripple not be able to, would it restrict them in some way? Would these indices somehow discriminate, against Ripple? I mean, this is a conversation that I'm sure they're having behind closed doors right now. If this was something that would actually happen, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to pass this. I don't think it's going to work. I think they're trying, but I don't think it's going to work. So I would just suggest everybody keep their eyes on this one. I think it's an interesting topic of conversation, but I don't think they're going to get away with it. And also I found another website, and by the way, this Bitcoin Treasuries website is bitcointreasuries.net if you want to see it. I found this other one, and it's called Arkham, and it's a big, long address, but it's Arkham. It's the top 10 holders of crypto. And it gives you a list of the top 10 holders of crypto. But what I found interesting is Ripple's not even on the list. And if you go down their list, right, BlackRock has 77 billion. Ripple would be above that, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ripple would be in the top 4 with their 40 billion XRP. So this list is not accurate. I'm waiting to see somebody put out an accurate list of all digital assets so that we can track these kinds of things. So hopefully we'll see that soon. All right, this was from Polymarket. Just in, some New Yorkers are getting $12,000 in crypto for a universal basic income experiment sponsored by Coinbase. What is this? I mean, I want to know more about this for sure. I don't know anything about it, but I would love to see this study. What is it about? What are they doing? What's the goal? What's happening? I want to know more. Anyway, I want to share that with you. This was Tom Lee. Tom Lee updated Bitcoin and Ethereum price prediction. So they roll out Tom Lee nearly every day. People love him on TV. Obviously, I love him too. I show him on my channel almost every day. But I want you to hear what Tom Lee has to say about Ethereum price moving here in the near future.
We know we're in the midst of a downturn for crypto prices. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the ones everyone is watching because they're the two largest. And Bitcoin, of course, is the flagship. I think we are so close to the bottom here, especially for Ethereum. I mean, the bottom could be happening this week or within the next 4 days. And from there, we are going to have, I think, a V-shaped recovery because of the liquidity that's coming as the shutdown has ended, the US government shutdown. And also because the central bank, I think, is tilting dovish, especially with a potentially new Fed chair. That, I think, should propel prices very strongly into the end of January. And that's where I think Ethereum, could be 7,000 to 9,000. And I believe Bitcoin is going to recover to past its all-time high.
So 7,000 to 9,000 on Ethereum. It's at 3,000 a day. So he's saying it's going to move 2 to 3 times in the next, let's call it 30 days. Interesting call, Tom. Let's see how it rolls out. Hey, if you've never been to XRP Las Vegas, you need to go to xrplasvegas.com. It's a great time. It's the world's largest XRP conference. Ripple is the main sponsor. It is an absolute blast. Last year was the biggest one they ever had, and I know this year will be even bigger. Check it out. Go to the website. If you want a VIP ticket, I will tell you they sell out first, so grab VIP tickets while they're still available. And I'm going to cut it at this one, guys, because this one's going to go a little bit long. But I appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday to you. Enjoy your day. Please hit like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed by now. And please share my videos with anybody you think might appreciate them. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research. See you next time. Bye-bye.